You are tuned to ARP on the Accelerated Radio Network. It's 12 noon, and it's time to have lunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Bringing money talk you can understand. And now here's your host, Miss Charline.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Charline, and welcome to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. We have in the studio today with us Attallah Nathan.
Yes.
Hi, Attallah.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're going to be talking about small businesses and how they develop. How's that?
Sounds good.
And so Attallah is starting her own business. And so we're going to walk through that process with her because we hope that it'll help some of you who are out there who have new business ideas and you're thinking about bringing them to life. Attallah is going to walk us through that process. And also, my own sweetheart in the studio, Nathan Finch. Nathan is starting his own adventure, right?
Yes.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about that too.
Mm-hmm.
So these are ideas because I know we all have ideas in our head about businesses we want to start, and then we never do it.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of just entertain it for a moment and then just let it dissipate. You know, we allow other people to talk us out of it. We talk ourselves out of it, right? Mm-hmm. We, get fear, let fear just succumb us. So it's wonderful to see the two of you, young people, moving forward with your business idea. I love that. Mm-hmm. So let's get into it.
Great.
Okay, so Attallah, tell us about the business that you're creating.
Well, my business is called Castile Consoles, and what it is, when it launches, it's going to be a completely online-based, I want to say community, but a website where you can rent the latest handheld video game consoles. We would ship it to you. Mm-hmm. You keep it for an allotted amount of time, and then you send it back to us.
Oh.
Yes.
So, wow, I was going to say, what is your target market? But your target market is huge.
Yeah, I mean, specifically, it's people who like to play video games.
Right.
But even more than that, I'm not specifically targeting, it's only for young people. Because, there's older people, even older than myself. I'm 23, going on 23. There's older people who do like to play video games.
That's right.
And people have all kinds of reasons. They might not be able to afford a console. They might just want to play one game.
Right.
There's a lot of different reasons why someone would want to rent it. They might want to rent it for their kid, and maybe they're going on a vacation, and they just want them to be busy.
Exactly.
So I don't really care what the reason is. I just want to open up that opportunity for other people, because you can rent games, no problem. Redbox does that. A few other companies, Gamefly does that. But the consoles itself, the most expensive part of it, it's like, where are you going to rent it?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm going to have to buy it. Save up a few $100s.
Yeah.
But, that's not easy for everybody
That's
to
true.
do.
That's very true.
So I just want to add another level of convenience to life.
That sounds
essentially.
Really good. Mm-hmm. So then that means you enjoy the games.
I do. I've been playing ever since, I want to say I was either 5 or 6 years old with the original Game Boy. Okay. Not Color, not Game Boy Color, Game Boy. And I used to go to my mom's friend's house at the time, and she had a Game Boy, but I was a really shy kid, so I'd just stare at her until she would say, "What do you want? Do you want something?" And it's like, "I want that." And I point at the Game Boy, but I finally got my own system. I got a Game Boy Color when I was 7. So ever since then, I've been playing video games.
Oh, okay.
Probably for more hours than I should be, but I love the games. I love them.
But they have progressed and advanced so much. Gaming is a way of life for some people. They do that versus watching television versus a lot of other things. Yeah. So it's definitely a huge, huge market.
Yeah, games have developed into, not just playing. Essentially there's a few games on the market that have a lot of storyline, a lot of characters you can, immerse yourself into. Like, you kind of feel like they're your friends by the end of the game.
Right.
And I love reading, so games that have a lot of backstory to them are the ones I gravitate towards.
Okay, so wait, so what type of games are these? Because the only games I know about, and I don't know a lot about games, are the ones that that you kind of go through, and you score points or whatever,
like
or you go
Super
through
Mario Brothers,
yeah,
like
things
that.
like that, right? But I didn't know that there were so many games where there's actually you get educated about the characters that are involved before you actually start playing. So that's creating a whole, I mean, for me, because I don't know anything about gaming. So that just, like you said, of all ages, because that's something that I would be more interested in. And people probably in my age group would be more interested in are the games that are attached to actually a story, have a storyline,
Right.
So,
There's something for everybody, I think.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, even my grandma, she goes on Facebook and plays her games, and she'll hang up on me. She's like, I'm playing my game, and then like the line goes dead. I'm like, what? You just hung up for a game. But I understand her. I understand.
Right.
I play games myself.
Yeah.
I get granny.
So now, Nathan, you're embarking on a new adventure.
Yes.
And we've talked about this a lot. And so what is your new adventure?
Well, I just started a travel blog, and I'll be traveling a lot is kind of the short and long of it. My travel blog is geared towards people that are looking to get deals on trips, and I always say I like to feel like I got away with something. And anybody that can identify with me in any way, anyone that resonates with me in any way, for them to be able to see what I'm up to and my travels and hopefully get inspired. And at the end of the day, hopefully be able to do it themselves. Maybe not as much as I'm going to be doing it, but at least be able to. I think traveling is really important for a lot of people, maybe not for everyone, but it's really important. It gives you some world perspective, and it opens your eyes a little bit and opens your heart, as cheesy as that sounds. But
it's really true, though.
But it does, and I know what traveling does for me, and which is a lot. And so I want to be able to share that, and so yeah, that's my new venture.
I love it. Because I enjoy I love traveling, and so I think you will be able to inspire, especially young people and older people too, to get out there and explore and go places and do things outside of your everyday life. And I think that sometimes we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives that we don't explore the possibility of traveling to other countries and seeing other worlds. And it does, I know, in the travels that I've done, it gives you a respect and a little bit more of a insight into how people are and why maybe they are the way they are, because you have the ability to go into their culture and see it and be a part of it. And so you go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then, it makes you less offended and makes people less offended of you. Everyone becomes a lot more tolerant of each other when they embrace each other's cultures versus, being offended by them.
I was going to kind of hit on that, as I think that's, to me, that's one of the best parts of traveling is yes, learning about other cultures, learning about other people in their worlds is so interesting and a wonderful experience, but mixing yourself into that is really cool, because then they get to learn more about you. Right. And I think it's really great. No, I think it's really great. It is really great to broaden your horizons in that way. And just like if here in LA, like, it's such a big city, you never know what opportunity might cross your path. There's so many people here doing so many different things. Right. And really, like, traveling exponentially grows that. Like, you never know who you're gonna meet.
That's right.
And what they're up to, and how that might complement what you're doing, or what you're doing might complement them, or any of that stuff. What kind of friends you're gonna make, or what kind of friends you're not gonna make, whatever it is. Hopefully not enemies, but but whatever it is that comes along your way, I think that's a lot of the intrigue of traveling for me, is you just don't know what's gonna come of it.
What's gonna come of it, right? The intrigue with the unknown.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like planned trips. I don't want to run into anything unknown.
And that's the other thing too. And
So-
there's a lot of travel blogs out there. And someone just asked me the other day, well, how do you become the go-to person like for travel? And my answer was, you don't. You really don't become the go-to person, because everybody is so different. I think the only way to really be I haven't been doing it that long. I just started, but from a lot of other travel bloggers that have been doing it for a long time, the only way to do it and be successful at it is well, first of all, patience, but and a real dedication to it, but to represent yourself very accurately.
Right.
And the people, like you've talked about before, your tribe will follow you.
A tribe will follow you. They'll find you and follow you, you know.
The people that want really mapped out, planned trips is great. Those people probably are not going to be doing and they might be interested in what I'm doing, but they're not going to be doing the same thing that I'm going to be doing.
No, but they will be intrigued by what you're doing, and they'll probably follow what you're doing, and you'll give them ideas of trips that they can plan.
Yes.
Right? Because that's my perspective.
He flew by the seat of his pants, but I'm going to still do what he's doing, but I'm going to plan it.
Exactly.
Right, you can follow more than one person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so definitely. So I will watch you to be intrigued and fascinated by the places you go, definitely. We've talked about that. And then of the places you go, I will plan out trips that I will take to those places, you know, strategically plan them. But that's everyone's own perspective, right?
Yes.
Just like we were talking about gaming. And, you know, for me, the games that there's a backstory and characters involved is one more that I would probably be interested in versus the ones that are a little bit more action-packed. I think I'm not as intrigued by those. So there's a little something for everyone. And within that, what people need to understand is that there's a business waiting to happen. So, and you won't just touch one type of person, but you'll touch multiple people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In both of your new ventures.
Well, and a couple of things I was thinking as you were talking about your new business is, one, I think that gaming got a really bad rap when we were kids. And even still now sometimes. And I know a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about gaming. It's isolating, it's this, it's that, or whatever. I think especially nowadays, it's become so much more of a social thing, especially with online stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But not even just that. You think about one of the first things I thought about when you were saying people renting it out. I knew the gist of the business that you were starting, but I didn't realize that it was actually renting out the consoles. I think it's brilliant.
I do too.
Parties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's an easy. Oh yeah, let's rent out this. This game
systems
console that I am never going to use, so I'm not going to buy it. Just rent it out.
Yeah, and just have it for a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I would do that.
Definitely. And like you said, it gets a bad rap, but you might want to talk more to that as to how it's not just people isolated sitting alone playing a game and by themselves. Sure, there are people who do that, but there's a whole community. There's a digital world out there, a community out there. I was telling a friend of mine just this morning, because I told her I was going to be interviewing you and how excited I was about it. And I was telling her, I said, there's a whole digital world out there that we have no clue about, most of us in my age group, is that it's a whole community. It's just not some young person sitting isolated in a room playing a game by themselves. They could be playing with 12 other people or 20 other people or 100 other people. And people could be just sitting somewhere watching them play. So,
that's a lot like YouTube. YouTube has been huge for, pretty much every type of lifestyle. But with gaming, I follow several gamers on YouTube. They have millions of people.
Millions of followers.
Following them.
Yes.
And watching their videos, me included.
Right.
But, I'm sitting there, having them kind of play the game. I'm just watching them play it.
Right.
But, there's people who comment, I want you to play this game, and then they play it. So it's very interactive, and even the communities, they get together and, make fan art of them and fan art of the
and
games.
I've seen that too, yes.
I can't
That's
draw,
so
so
cool.
I'm not part of that.
Right,
but,
no, I've seen
I
that
observe.
also.